Look, I need you to really hear me on this one. This isn't just another video. This is about your actual life. And I've watched way too many women, good women, strong women, amazing women, make one decision in a heated moment that changed everything in their life. Hi, I'm Britt, welcome. So I'm talking to the sisters who are tired, the ones who've been holding it all together for so long that when something finally actually breaks, you just react. You know what I mean. You send that text at 2 a.m. or you reopen a door that you swore you'd never walk through again, or you walk away from something that you're just too tired to deal with, right? You're just done. And you say yes maybe to what feels good instead of what's right sometimes. And sometimes we numb out instead of dealing with something. And that's me, myself, and I for sure. So listen, I do really get it. I do, because I've been there. And here's what I've learned the hard way. Your emotions, they are real and they matter, but they're not always right. Feelings aren't facts. Feelings just want relief. They don't think about next week, next month, or next year, and some of us have been following our feelings like they're the voice of God, but they are not. So that's why we end up in the same mess, different year. God gave you a mind. He gave you a spirit. And he gave you something that we don't use enough, which is the ability to wait, right? I know. I don't have time to wait. But that's not true, is it? We had time 20 years ago. Did we? No. 20 years ago, we said, I don't have time for that. We just didn't want to listen to that quiet voice because God knew better, right? Or did we know better? Frankly, the distraction or the escape or the diversion at the time often felt better. Right? And getting that validation from our feelings or food or a person, it felt better. But really what feels good right now can wreck you later. I've seen it. Marriages destroyed. Kids who won't talk to their parents anymore. Money gone. Women who are just empty. And they'd give anything to just take back that one moment, that one text, that one choice. I call it restraint of pen and tongue, and I learned it the hard way. So why does God give us conviction? Because he's trying to save you from yourself, right? We don't want to slow down. We just want to feel something, even if it destroys us in the process. So those quick decisions, those quick texts, those quick phone calls, you skipped the pause, didn't you? You skipped the prayer, didn't you? You skipped asking for wisdom. You skipped all the things that could have actually saved your life. And then your peace dies. Your purpose goes quiet, and you're stuck with living in regret. I hate that place, and I don't want it for you. Now, I'm not talking to perfect women here, and I'm certainly not one. I'm talking to real women, women who know what it's like to be one bad day away from throwing it all away. Because I've been there. I've been lonely enough to go back to something God already freed me from. I've been exhausted enough to almost quit what he told me to protect. And I've been overwhelmed enough to almost make choices to be living with things forever that he asked me to leave. And I've sat right on the edge, and God didn't yell at me. He didn't shame me. He just whispered, breathe. And let me tell you, learning to pause has saved my life more than once. And some of you, you don't need a miracle right now. You need a moment. You don't need revenge. You need reflection. You don't need to react, fly off the handle. You need to pray. You don't need to move. You don't need to leave your marriage. You don't need to excommunicate your kids. You need to get your own pride out of the way, because you can be one decision away from either a breakthrough or a complete breakdown, right? And the difference is whether or not you stop and think. And Proverbs 14:29 says, whoever is slow to anger has great understanding, but the one who is hasty exalts folly. In other words, you're inviting trouble when you're hasty about decisions. In the translation, moving too fast, it will cost you. And I think you already probably know a lot of this. And you probably already know what you need to do. You just might not want to do it regarding whatever situation you're dealing with. You want peace, and you want to let go of the chaos. You want to start healing. but you won't change your habits. So you want a future, but you keep filling it with the past. So let me just be straight with you here, okay? Again, I'm Britt. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. If you keep skipping the hard stuff, the work, the discipline, the uncomfortable, which is sometimes just sitting still, if you keep avoiding those conversations you know you need to have, or your own self-control over your mouth, then yeah, it's over for that version of your life. God's not going to bless a version of you that keeps sabotaging yourself at every time you turn around, right? Or every time things get hard. You have to learn to sit with temptation and not move. Feel the pain without trying to fix it. That's a big one. That was a big one for me. And I tried to fix different pains with all sorts of things. Food, people, cars, vacations, solitude, you name it. But it wasn't solitude with God. And some of these moves you make, they're permanent. So I encourage you to breathe when everything around you is screaming to react. Because some moves, they're permanent. That message could end your marriage. That decision could steal your peace for a long time. That compromise that you kind of don't want to make, but you're toying with making, it could actually damage your witness and your reputation. The emotional escape, that might cost you your destiny. So are you tired of just surviving? Then stop making survival decisions. You weren't built for quick fixes. You weren't built for temporary relief. You were built for legacy, for impact, and for purpose, and I believe in you. But you'll never touch that if you don't learn to pause. Your power is in the pause. Your power is in the present. So if this is landing on you right now, receive it as love, please. This is a warning, maybe a mercy moment, maybe a chance to choose differently. Stop skipping the pause. Stop ignoring wisdom. Stop turning away from conviction. Stop pushing God away for your own will. I've paid that price, and I don't want it for anyone. Because He still has so much planned for you, sister. So Step Into Your Destiny, our free school group, is where we help Christian women build extraordinary lives. So join us in Step Into Your Destiny, a free school group where we help Christian women just like you step into living extraordinary lives. Join us in our community. Click the description below, and we will provide encouragement and delightful alternatives to bad decisions. God bless you, and remember, you are beloved.